Hello, my name is Josh Sweeney with Epic Culture, and welcome to the Company Culture Check video series. We're here today at Prototype Prime, the technology co-working space in Peachtree Corners, to meet with the team from Insiten and learn all about their amazing company culture. Well, Adam, thank you for having me today. Can you tell me a little bit about Insiten and yourself?
We started Insiten about a year and a half ago. We're a software development company. We're focused on building software in the merger and acquisition space. So we build tools that help companies who are doing acquisitions, buying another company, divestitures, selling a piece of their company. We help with the planning of those big transactions, the financial analysis, and the execution. I come from a software development background originally. I was a .NET developer for years and years, and I actually stumbled into the merger and acquisition space. I got a job with Ernst & Young, where I started building these sorts of tools and learning all about the merger and acquisition space. And a couple years back, I just saw a huge market opportunity for companies doing these big transactions, the need for technology to help them manage, plan, and execute better. So I kicked off Insiten, and we're now a year and a half old. We're up to 12 full-time employees and a number of contractors. And it's been very, very exciting. There's been a tremendous demand for the kind of tools that we're building and skills that we've developed amongst our team.
It sounds like great growth over the last year and a half. So I'm assuming that as a software company, your biggest group of people are developers. Is that correct?
Yep, yeah. Almost everyone we hire has a strong technical background, and the majority of the team are full-time developers.
Okay, and I understand also developers are pretty hard to get nowadays, like really good ones, there's a shortage. So when it comes to your company, how are you using your company culture and who you are to attract the best talent?
We actually we have a great program in place to hire junior developers. It's something we put in place very, very early on. So our philosophy, we try to find developers who have gotten into software development, are very passionate about it, they love it, and they want to continue their education. So we've built a program where we bring people on, we assign them with a mentor, we bring on professional trainers come in 2 days a week, and they work with the developers that we bring in to continue their learning. We have a very strong software development lifecycle where we review every single line of code, 2 people reviewed before it gets into our code base. That's a great feedback mechanism for our more senior resources to train the junior resources. So when we go out and we try to convince people to come to Insiten and talk about kind of what we can offer that's very different, we feel it is that kind of continued education. You could come in, we'll continue to build your skill set, we'll work with you to build a kind of a learning roadmap, and we'll give you the experiences and the training that you need to continue that growth. I think that combined with kind of the startup feel, we try to make this feel like a Silicon Valley company, that seems to really excite people who are looking for software development jobs.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a pretty strong pipeline and success track record around bringing these junior people on and letting them know that you're gonna, for lack of a better term, wrap the blanket around them and helping them and guiding them through the process of not only learning but growing as a developer. And that seems to be attracting all of the people that you need, right?
And we're looking for people who want to continue that growth. When we find people who have kind of been stuck in the same technology for years and years and aren't kind of lifetime learners who are going to go out there and try to acquire new technologies and skills, we really know that's not going to be a good match. So we're looking for people who are really attracted to that. We have these full-time instructors that come in, and help people continue to learn, continue to grow as developers. We put a huge emphasis in going to training and conferences and just continuing that growth and staying kind of ahead of the curve of technology and knowing what's out there. I think, if you find the right people who are really excited about that, they love when they see what we're doing. And I think what's really exciting is when you look at these junior developers, where they are after 6 months, a year of working at Insiten. and then you go and you try to recruit more senior developers who have a couple years of experience, we could really see a difference with the way that we constantly are training and upskilling our employees versus employees that are just like stuck in some back room, solo developing. The growth has been just really impressive, and I'm very proud of our developers and how much they've grown.
Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity. I had kind of the opposite experience with my CRM consulting firm that I had before, Epic Culture, in that we knew that we didn't have all of those things in place. We didn't have the educational tracks and the ongoing learning. So we had to go the opposite direction of hiring really senior people, which is expensive, they're hard to find, and it's a whole different challenge. So I like the fact that you have a process in place and that's built into the fabric of your company.
It is very difficult in finding those senior resources and good ones, and senior resources who want to serve as mentors and want to continue training these junior resources. That's challenging. And we found we had to completely change our job description for senior resources. If we were just focused on their technology capabilities, we were getting a lot of great, talented developers, but they really, they kind of had the attitude, I could do it faster, just let me work by myself, it takes longer for me to explain it, let me just build it. So we changed our job description to really highlight that we're looking for mentors, not just senior developers. It's important that they have the technical skills, but a huge part of their job description is getting these bootcamp grads and junior developers, training them, upskilling them, and making them productive on our projects.
And are all of the people here in the office with you?
Most of them sit here in Atlanta. Since we're in the kind of the corporate finance merger and acquisition space, a lot of our clients are up kind of in the New York City area. So we have an office up there as well where we have a couple employees to service our clients up there.
Okay. But are your developers all here, or you have developers in that office as well?
We have developers in that office as well. So yeah, that has been a challenge that we continue to try to improve on, is how to work with remote developers, how to make sure they're as plugged in, that they're getting the mentorship. So we do, we pay for them to come down and get, when we're doing, big lunch and learns or training sessions, so that they could work with the team hand in hand. We spend a lot of money on building really powerful conference rooms with video conferencing and good audio, and so it kind of feels like they're here. But it is a big challenge and something that we constantly try to improve. It's so easy to just grab somebody, go whiteboard something, and or do pair coding or mob coding when you're in the same building. But yeah, we're trying to figure out as we grow, as we want to hire more people in New York or other offices, how can we keep the same culture, keep the same communication. So technology has really been key for us to be able to have remote people, but give them a similar experience as if they were here.
Yeah, I could see that it would be a challenge to bring a trainer into this location or even that location, and have to get everybody on board, and you have timing and other challenges that could come into place. So we've talked a little bit about the culture of hiring and the types of people that you're looking for, and a little bit about how you've adapted the job positions and the write-ups that you do to post those jobs. Once you have them on board, what does Insiten do to retain those folks?
So yeah, I think definitely that continued learning experience. I think when people talk about what they really enjoy here, it's the ability to work on different types of projects and technologies, to continue to grow their technical skills. If people are interested in working on something on the back end or a completely new technology, we listen to them. We make sure that we give them experiences where they can basically learn what they want to learn, grow where they want to grow. So I think that's a big part of it. I think just having this culture where we've hired people who are very, very passionate. We call them, we have this term, high five developers. So we try to find people that love technology and love development so much, when they're doing something challenging and they code something that they're very excited about, they want to stop, they want to high five the person next to them. So that's what we call a high five developer. And really trying to find people like that. If you fill up your company with those sorts of people, it's just an exciting place to work. So when people come in, everyone's pretty lively and talkative. We do a lot of mob coding and pair coding where we have multiple people sitting around a screen, especially when we have complex architecture we're trying to solve. And I think that kind of everyone, kind of coming together as a team, and that team feeling really keeps people excited about working here. And then, I think we do a lot of things to kind of bond as a team besides just our development projects. So we do a lot of outside activities. We're going to a Braves game tomorrow. Over the break, we all went, we got a lake house, and we all spent a day at a lake house together. So we try to kind of find these fun, more social events that we can do regularly as a team. So, we're building relationships and really having fun. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to build here, is a company that we all love working at, that we have fun doing what we're doing. I think we're in the most exciting field there is, in technology and software development. The advances over the past couple of years, we basically can do anything we want. There's so much potential here. So I think it's trying to keep it that way, keep it fun. It's a challenge because we have hard projects and hard deadlines. Software development could be a burnout field if you don't treat it right. We're really trying to make sure that we really balance our workload and have a good work-life balance and all that good stuff. Yeah.
So with all of that, with the retention and making it fun and the social activities that you have, we're here recording. You're a member at Prototype Prime, which is a co-working space for technology companies. How do you feel that the space that you're in adds to the company culture? How do you think it adds to the vibe and creates a place that people want to work, as opposed to if you went and just got your own office when you had 3 people?
No, absolutely. Picking Prototype Prime as our headquarters was a pretty strategic move for us. It's a very open working environment. So kind of that collaboration we want to build. We all work in a big open workspace, including myself. I'll come out and develop it kind of alongside with everybody else. So it's very easy just to walk over to somebody's desk or pull someone's chair over and start collaborating together. I think that open workspace was really key to kind of our culture and how we wanted people to work in different teams and continuously work together. And I think kind of surrounding yourself with other companies and other people who are doing really interesting things in the technology space is also really exciting. So the people you talk to when you go to the water cooler, watching people build things on the 3D printers in the 3D lab, and just kind of being in this space with so much creativity and innovation, I think it is infectious. I think a lot of people, when they come here, they really comment about that it's kind of, to work out of this office, it just feels like such a productive place to be, such an innovative place to be, just the atmosphere alone. So we've been really happy working out at Prototype Prime.
Yeah, and I'm sure that gives everybody a really good feel when they come in for like an interview or something along those lines, or maybe a client would come in and they get to see the space and they get to feel that energy that you have. So with that, is there anything else about your company culture that we didn't discuss that you'd like to share?
One thing we're constantly trying to do is improve. Mm-hmm. As we grow, as we scale, as we get more people, different processes or lack of processes that worked early on, we see are causing pain points as we move forward. So one thing we spend a lot of time doing is kind of surveying the team. We do a weekly survey, kind of get a feel of what the vibe is in the office, how are people feeling, what needs to be improved. We meet as a team once a month to review those surveys and try to fix things and make things better. So it ranges from everything, like 1 month it was wellness was something we wanted to focus on. The snacks in the break room were unhealthy. People didn't feel they were getting enough breaks from work to go out and take walks and do things like that. So we went, and now we have a weekly delivery of healthy snacks that come to the office. The next month, what we wanted to focus on was the mission of the company, the strategy of the company. It's something that when we were very small, we had a lot of kind of conversations and everyone kind of knew what we were doing. As we've grown, new employees wanted kind of to hear more about kind of where we were growing as a company, what our next moves were, what our strategy is. So we've set up meetings to kind of as a team, we're going to mob build a mission statement where we're all going to get together and talk about what our mission is as our company. I mean, so really for us, it's about getting that feedback from our employees and actually doing something with it, and not just top down doing something from that feedback, but getting together as an entire team, really thinking, how do we make this company better together, and then taking action and actually fixing things, adjusting things, so that we continue to grow in a way that we're all very happy about and excited about.
Awesome. You've mentioned the word mob a few times, so I feel like that's kind of ingrained in your company culture and your DNA and who you are. So tell me a little bit about what mob is and how you use it in different areas, right? You mentioned use mob during development tasks. You mentioned getting together to talk about the mission. So what is it, and what are the other ways that you've used that method?
So when we say mob, it's when we get several people together or the entire team together to tackle an issue. So for development, if we have a very challenging architectural problem that we think is better if multiple minds are coming together to solve, we'll all get in a big room, we'll put up the code on a big projector, and we'll work through it together. We do it for recruiting, so I think really everything for us starts with recruiting and getting those right people that have the right attitude. So we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to meet the people that we're bringing onto the team and gets input into the hires. So we have this mob recruiting process where when the candidate comes in, there's several different meetings with different portions of the team, and we look at their personality and their technical skills, but we look at it as a big team, and we all weigh in on who we want to bring. We're very selective of who we bring into the team. And then we'll mob like our mission statement. So if it's something really important, and the mission statement is something that I feel very strongly shouldn't just come from the top down. It should be something that we all develop together, kind of back to that goal of building a company that we all love and we're all very proud of and all want to help grow. So we'll all go into a big room and put up a document on the screen and build something like a mission statement together. So it's something we feel is a very powerful tool. I think we get better results when we have a very diverse team with diverse backgrounds, when we're all coming together, putting our ideas on the table and building things together. So I think we get better results, and I think it gives people more buy-in into the company and what we're trying to do.
Is there anything else that you feel, in addition to things like mob or the high five culture for developers, is there anything else that you feel is unique to your culture?
I know we touched on it a bit, but it's how we're able to take a junior developer and continue their education, and how we really, really focus on that, and how we've done things like bringing in the professional trainer to come in,
right.
And what he does, he'll meet with every developer once a week. He'll look at kind of where they are, how their learning is progressing. He'll give them homework assignments. So it almost feels like we're running like a mini boot camp within Insiten. So people are continuing to have to go and independently learn things, kind of come back to the team, share what they've learned, show the trainer their progression. I do think, I touched on the software development lifecycle as well, but I think that's something that's really, really key. I know a lot of companies have put time into this. And a lot of times when people think software development lifecycle, they think about automated deployments and branching strategies and things like that, which are very, very important. But I think the feedback mechanism that we've built into that software development lifecycle is really pretty key. So that's, kind of as everyone develops every line of code, we have 2 people come in, they put comments on the code to try to train the resource. And, we don't have like a senior developer that just goes and just fixes it and shoves it in. It's the junior resource that needs to go implement the fixes that were recommended to them and really learn and understand, okay, how do I do this better? How do I build this in a more secure, scalable, performant way? And I think that whole philosophy of, trying to lift the whole team together, not just have some senior developers that work so fast and could do everything, but make sure if we implement a new technology, really train that to all the junior resources, make sure they understand it, make sure they start using it on their projects. So kind of we continuously increase the sophistication of our code and doing that with junior resources who are trying to learn the core technology, and we keep on adding more and more. I think that's something that's very challenging to do. I think it's something that we've gotten pretty good at.
So Adam, what's your role at Insiten?
So I'm a software developer at Insiten.
And what do you focus on primarily?
Currently, I focus on analytics and reporting, and then I also do software development.
And I believe you said you were one of the early employees. So that's a challenging moment for the company in that it's hard to convey the company culture when it's an army of one, right? And they're pulling those early people or an army of a few people building the company. What got you attracted to the company early in that process?
Yeah, so what attracted me to Insiten is just the opportunity. Even though Adam asked me as one of the first employees, I just saw how much opportunity there was to grow at this company before we even had a roadmap on what we were going to do.
So with that opportunity, you mentioned, he showed you that early on. How did you get a feeling for that opportunity? Was there something in the interview process? Was there something in the space? What gave you a feel of that opportunity, that culture that really drew you in?
Really just the startup culture drew me in to, want to be a part of this journey with Insiten.
I love it. Well, the startup journey is definitely a fun one. So what has kept you here for this long? What are some of the things about the company culture that have really played into retaining yourself, and what else do you feel has helped retain all the other employees that you have?
Yeah, there's so many things that have kept me here just throughout the year and a half that Insiten has been here, and for the future too. From the beginning, just every opportunity that I was given to do continuous learning. Adam sent me to a boot camp to help me learn coding and just be a better software developer. Really the ability that I was able to learn anything I wanted while working. The benefits are great. Yeah, the career opportunities that people have at this company, whether it be Adam sends us to conferences, we're able to go to any conference we want once a year and just experience that. We have paid lunches, that's right there at the top, so I really enjoy that.
So like anyone else, well, maybe not like anyone else, I love to eat, love paid lunches, great experience to go collaborate with a team. So in those paid lunches, is that something that happens every day? Do y'all have like a theme around it where it's a free lunch Friday or a Wednesday?
Yeah, so those lunches are every day.
Awesome.
So we go out as a team, and really it just helps team bonding.
Thank you for sharing a little bit about the company culture and what brought you in, as well as what you think is the best parts of the retention plan at Insiten.
Really what has the employees wanting to stay here, just always keeping them involved and allowing them to give any ideas they have and for us to put those in place.
Mike, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about your role at Insiten.
Sure. I'm a software developer at Insiten. I started here in October, so about 7 or 8 months ago. My main role is doing software development.
What about the company culture did you feel was a good match for you during the hiring process?
I came right out of boot camp, so I was definitely looking for mentorship. I knew I still had a lot to learn, and I know at some bigger companies, you kind of get a feel that you're just kind of like put in there with no real guidance. So that was really important to me when I was looking at companies. And with Insiten, I noticed that they really had a strong focus on mentorship and bringing junior developers up to speed and really upskilling them. So that was really a big draw to me when I decided to join Insiten, and the biggest part of the culture that I really was attracted to.
So in conjunction with that, are there any other items that you'd like to call out that you really liked when you came in and first met with the team?
Sure. When I first met with the team, first thing I noticed was that they were pretty much all there to meet me, which I think is pretty rare at a company, especially a bigger company, that's just not feasible. But I really just, I liked the way that everyone was involved in the decision-making process. They were all, their opinions were really considered when hiring, and that's still something that we do. I think that was really like an awesome thing, because I knew that the CEO, the company culture was not just like top down, it was like mob in the sense that everyone's really involved in a lot of the decision-making process. Another thing I like to call out is just, how, much collaboration goes on at Insiten. I get a chance to work with everyone at different points in the project. So it's not just like, oh, I'm, just paired up with this one person all the time. We're all collaborating together, we're all working together. And it's just awesome because you get different opinions, you get to work with different people, and it just kind of makes it more exciting.
So with the collaboration, what in addition to the collaboration, what would you say is another aspect that you love about the culture at Insiten?
Not just like getting your work done, not just work all the time. There's definitely a fun aspect. We're here every day. Working should be fun too, and so Insiten definitely puts an emphasis on how how employees can really enjoy what they're doing and have fun with what they're doing, and really just be happy in their day-to-day lives. And so we eat lunch together every day when we can, and we go out. We really enjoy that time, enjoy bonding with each other and getting to know each other and building relationships. And not just with lunch, like we do that outside of work as well. We do you go to the Braves game, go to the lake together, things like that, and that just kind of breaks up like the monotony of like maybe at other companies it would just be like the same thing every day. At Insiten, you really it's kind of like a lifestyle. You really get to know everyone and just kind of be happy outside of work.
Yeah, so you're spending a lot of time with that team.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that takes the collaboration to the next level? So you're not just at work, but you have these other opportunities to talk and share experiences. So how does that help build that bond and that collaboration?
Right. Well, when you're collaborating with someone, it's a lot easier to do that if you know them, if you trust them, if you have a relationship with them. So these bonding experiences really help build those relationships and really build that level of trust, so that when you're collaborating and someone else offers an idea up that's different from yours, you have to really be able to trust them to take that leap, like, oh, maybe I'm wrong and maybe they're right, let's try it your way. And if you're building these relationships and you trust these people, it's a lot easier to do that rather than just someone that you don't really trust as much and they're like, oh no, I think I have this other idea. You're kind of like, well, I have my idea, and then it's really harder to collaborate in that sense.
Yeah, I could definitely get that. I mean, if you built up that trust, then you can make that leap with somebody, or be a little more agreeable, or meet in the middle if
Yeah.
you know that they have the talent and what they need because you built that time and you put in the time with them.
Right.
And it's harder with somebody that you don't know as well because you haven't spent that time together.
Exactly.
So if you had to sum up, maybe your favorite thing about the company culture, what would it be?
When I'm at work, I'm really getting the guidance, the support I need from everyone, not just like one person individually, but I love that the culture emphasizes all of us, working together, supporting each other, and coming together towards common goals.
Yeah, that sounds like a great company culture. So I appreciate your time and thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you.